Veronica.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure. I really appreciate what you're doing. And before we get started, please introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Veronica Monge. Right now, I'm working with the Gilded Iguana. Been working with them since like a year and a half. A community manager for them. I also started to get involved with the Nosara Recicla Association, and I was named president a few months ago. So we're still kind of getting on roll with that. And
did you know what you signed up for when you decided to be president?
Yes. I was prepared by Jesse and Cookie.
We could not be happier about having you as the leader with the fresh energy and enthusiasm and contacts and how much you've helped with other things in the past. At the moment, though, we have a bit of a situation in front of us. So fill us in with why are you here today? Like, what's your main focus point?
Yeah, right now what we need is lots of signatures from members of the community, all members of the community. Right now we're working on a letter that is going to push the recollection of trash in Nosara. So we need as many signatures as we can get.
Let me clarify that for a second. So it's essentially an endorsement to the letter, or is it a petition protesting, or it's...
Right now it's like in process, and they have 30 days, which is La Contraloría General of the República, and we're waiting to kind of make that process a little quicker because they have 30 business days. So if we get, lots of signatures, that could turn into a shorter time.
I get it. So if we come together as a community and people will sign this thing, we might be able to get a little bit more momentum.
Yes, exactly.
All right. That sounds good. We'll definitely help with that. So before we get into where we're at and where we're about to go, can you quickly fill us in? What's the previous history of trash and recycling in Nosara? Because most people don't really know.
Well, I think what's important to know is that the only person that can really take this over is La Municipalidad of Nicoya, which is like our government for this area, So it cannot be through a private institution, can't be through donations or anything else. It has to be through them.
So it's Nicoya or nothing?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a battle that's been happening, I think, more than 10 years now. But, really what has to be said is that the community found a solution at the moment when it was needed to where to put the waste,
It has to go somewhere.
Yes, it has to go somewhere. And at the time, it was, I believe, Friends of Nosara who had this piece of property that was donated for this specifically. So, it's an illegal dump right now with lots of petitions for it to be closed from Ministerio de Salud, but they don't really give us another solution.
So it's an illegal but necessary dump that we have to use, albeit unwillingly, and we need Nicoya to help solve this. They're the only people who can solve it, is what you're saying. Okay, I get it.
And a local family has taken this big burden on top, which, we all know it's not the best service, but they're trying to do as much as they can. I mean, people get charged and everything, but it's...
How much does it cost, if you'll let me interrupt you? Some people... The cost for our trash is not very high.
No.
What is it?
It's like for a regular home, I think it's $15 a month. For bigger businesses, it kind of depends on how much they produce. But
and where could people pay that?
Usually Lily Adams is the one in charge of this. So via email with her or directly to the Asada office.
Shout out to Lily.
Yay!
Lily she's the right person. Imagine she has to collect the water, deal with the water, everything, and then collect all the money from the trash.
Yeah.
Many thanks to Lily. But please keep going. So continue filling us in really quick on the difference between the recycling and the normal trash, because I think sometimes people get it confused and they think it's the same thing.
Yes. So the dump is managed by this family, and then the recycling center is on the same lot, but it's administrated by Christian Zumbado, which has been an amazing asset for us in general. Whoever has never been there to the recycling center is in proper conditions. Like, I really encourage you guys to go and meet Christian. He's amazing. He knows full English too, so you can take volunteers in groups. But yeah, it's a separate operation.
Okay.
So actually Christian lives there with the divers from the dump, because it's like around 20 people who live there with children and everything. So, it is right beside it, but not the same thing. And what we try to do to distinguish that difference is we made a different entry for the recycling center. So it's the one right before, and then the other one is for the recollection of trash.
So recycling center is, if you're coming from, say, Del Mar, it's the first entrance on the right, and the real trash is closer to Arenales.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
No, that makes sense. So it sounds like Christian is doing an awesome job and super helpful.
Yeah, he's amazing, like really to another level, you know. So he's what we're doing as the recycling center is right now focusing on education, because, you know, that's prime right now. What we're trying to tell people is that until we get this solution of the trash, there's stuff that we can do starting from our homes, from our hotels, from our work, wherever, to make a difference. Because no matter if the recollection comes or not, we should, you know, have a better usage of our waste. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned earlier that you need signatures and community support, and that's like your biggest prerogative right now.
Yes.
Who can support it?
Okay. I'll explain a little bit what the signature means right now, so people know what they're actually signing for. Okay. So the process of actually having a company to recollect is very close. Like, they already chose one, La Municipalidad. It won, and then one of the other companies that was participating in the process, they did an appeal that they weren't considered, like that their documents were late, but they were not late. So that kind of stops the process.
I got it. Is it because they want the account? Yes. People are competing for the...
Yes, because it's a business opportunity for sure. It's good money from La Municipalidad. So the process was stopped, and it was taken to La Contraloría, which is like a higher governmental law, you know, section. So they have 30 days, business days, to reply to this petition, if it's right or if it's wrong. So we're kind of like depending on this process to see, like, if the Contraloría says, no, this is not allowed or permitted, then the process of the other company that was already hired would just start immediately. Okay. So we could have trash recollection pretty soon if this happens. If not, if they say, no, you guys, as the Muni, you have to analyze like the other candidates. So the process of hiring would be open again. So
that basically takes us back to square one. They have to go analyze the companies and see who gets the bid.
Not completely square one, because the plan there's already like a strategic plan that has been talked to with like Marcos from La Asociación de Desarrollo, ADIN, and other people that have been helping us, is to do a hiring by emergency. Because right now, this is an emergency. It's an emergency for Nosara. And so that speed ups all that process of hiring somebody else. So this letter, pretty much what we're doing is pressuring La Contraloría to say if it's wrong or if it's right, a smaller frame of time, you know? So that's why we need like as much signatures as we can. You have to have a cédula or a residency, because it asks you for your signature and cédula. So you do have to be a resident if you want to sign. But it's a matter of health right now for Nosara. So it's definitely something that we have to all participate. This is everybody's responsibility, whether you want to see it or not, whether you go and visit it or not, it's there. And it's actually, you know, right now it's not affecting our water source, but what happens if we get to that, you know? So it's definitely a huge problem. And what we have to do as a community now is try to reduce that amount of trash that we're creating.
I have a question. For the letter, what's the best format for you? Please let anyone listening know so that we can start supporting this right away.
Yeah, my plan is to have several copies of the letter, and there's spaces blank on the same letter, but obviously we're going to have more. So we'll just have copies of the letter so everybody is reading what they're signing for, because it's not my intention to get signatures without that. I would I talked to Marcos actually like an hour ago, and I asked him, strategic places in Nosara town as well. So I think we're going to have a copy in Super Nosara, which everybody kind of visits.
Fantastic.
Super La Paloma.
Nice.
In Guiones, we could have it at Surfing Nosara, Guild de Iguana, Harmony. I'm sure a lot of people are down to...
Maybe we can hit up Basilico and some of the other hotspots where a lot of the residents eat. Maybe Rancho Tica. So we can have multiple copies. So that's good. How much time do we have to get those signatures in place? Like, what's your goal?
I would like to have it by Friday, like have all these letters in my hand, all these signatures.
I got it. Let me ask you a question. Would it be okay if we got it by, say, Monday and we had a whole weekend to...
Yes.
Okay. All right, because we need a little bit of time. Yeah, so thank you for getting us up to speed on that. So it sounds like you have something like hot on the presses right now. Like,
yes.
This is of very big importance.
Yes, it is. And it's taken a while. There's definitely some indoor drama in Lamuni that has been, making everything a little bit slower. But right now it's not Lamuni which is stopping anything. Right now we're just kind of pressuring to get a response so we can get moving, because there's already a company that's been hired. It has all the trucks, like it's ready to go. So either they have to decide if this is going to be the company and she's saying, but we just need to like increase the pressure a little bit.
That makes sense. And we'll definitely try to help.